be my co-host today, or are you just gonna take a nap? Is it nap time? Can I have a kiss? Can I have a kiss? Love you.
The security guards here. Everybody be cool. Hi, Zara. Thanks for the heart on my head. That's why you were meowing. You had to poop. Meow. Just getting started. Tried to do a stream earlier, but we didn't have many guests. We only talked to a few people. I didn't really have much time. It wasn't a good setup. So I'm back, probably for 2 hours. Just took care of other dogs. One of my dogs is being potty trained. Like, he had some issues when I got him. He was left in a crate all day. They wouldn't let him out to go to the bathroom. He learned to basically pee and poop in his crate. He's just like a couple years old. He was scared. I don't know what the deal was. He was not being taken care of very well. The lady was gone for like 10 hours a day, and he would just stay in the crate. And yeah, so we've been working with that. I was taking him out to go potty like every 2 hours. And every time I would get to I would go to extend it to like 3 hours, he would start peeing in his kennel area. So I built these bigger kennel areas for some of the dogs. So he's not in a little crate, he's in this bigger kennel area. But he would still pee in there and poop in there sometimes. Today I was gone for 6 hours, and he did not pee or poop in there. And with all I got a bunch of other puppies and dogs now too. They were out back, so normally my roommate, when I'm not here for a couple hours, my roommate will take him out. But she wasn't able to do that today because of all the puppies were out there. He was there for 6 hours, and he did not go to the bathroom in his kennel. I'm so proud of him. Yeah, it was really cool. I really appreciate that. He's become so confident. Same with Rose. I have another dog that's here that when the first time when she just got here, she would shake. She was so scared of everything. Like, any little sound, she would jump and she would shake. Like, she did it for a couple of days. Every time I would just peek into the room, she would start shaking. Like, it was really sad. And then yesterday I introduced her to 3 new people that she's never met before. She would go up to them and smell them a little bit, and it was really cool. She's just never shakes now. She's still a little bit shy, kind of, you know. And if there's a big truck that goes by, she'll kind of be like, "What's that?" But she doesn't run and try to hide anymore. She would run around and hide and just, she'll go up to new people. It's really cool. All right, we got our first guest. Oh, I thought it was somebody else. Okay, we have
Hello.
Cami. Is that how you say your name, Cami?
It's pronounced Kami, but
Kami,
it's okay,
okay.
Kami. I accept that.
Sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
Kami. You're over 18, right?
Yes, I am.
Cool. So, why do you hate animals?
That's what I wanted to ask. Are you talking in the vegan sense, or if we hate all the animals, like if I hate dogs per se, something like that?
Well, are you vegan?
I'm not.
No. So you hate some animals.
I don't hate any animals.
You don't hate any animals? Okay, so If I were to eat dogs, do you think that I would hate dogs?
No,
No. So
no.
can you explain that? How does that make any sense?
If you eat a cow, you do not hate the cow. There are so many people who have beautiful connections with their farm animals and they still eat them. Why do I believe that? It's because we have this thing called the circle of life. Everything that is
Wait, so you're
everything.
quoting the Lion King now?
No.
You get your morals from a Disney movie?
The circle of life is that everything that you use it with purpose and you don't harm more than you need to. For
Okay,
example,
so could somebody use you? Just use every piece of you?
right now it's not rationally, but you know that people were cannibals and there are still tribes who do cannibalism.
Okay, so that's okay to you?
That's the circle of life.
Do you think cannibalism is the circle of life?
I think now it's not rational anymore because we have more supplies and we have food, we have other stuff. But in the past, you cannot say that people. The only reason you are here and your whole family is here because you had an ancestor who hunted, gathered, and ate meat, and you are here now because they survived, doing what is right.
Yeah, there's probably some people's family owned slaves, some people's families disrespected women. There's a bunch of things that people have done in the past, but we've realized that hey, we probably shouldn't be doing that anymore, and we've changed. Are you justifying any of those things?
Of course not. It's a whole different topic, and it's not about that. I'm just saying that what works best will always work, and we know this works best.
What works best? Yes. Owning slaves and oppressing other women and other people. That at one time that worked best. It's the same thing.
Those were always criticized. People always had opinions on those things. Now, veganism, for me, I think it's not. I don't condone you guys. You can do whatever you want with your body, but don't push it on everybody else.
I don't think vegans are the ones pushing things on other beings. I'm pretty sure people that are consuming animals are the ones forcing them into gas chambers and slaughterhouses, right? You don't think that you're forcing your beliefs onto these innocent, defenseless anims? A lot of them are just babies.
Defenseless animals. My beliefs.
Innocent, defenseless babies.
But what are you? Are you a human?
Yes, I'm a human.
You are a human. I am a human too.
Right.
What kind of diet does a human normally have?
Plants.
What does a pig? What is the diet of a pig? What is a pig?
What does that have to do with your choices?
Let me tell you, a pig is an omnivore. A pig will eat plants and it will eat everything like we do. That's how the pig is made. That's how we are made. We are omnivores.
That's just descriptive. That's just describing what we've done in the past. That doesn't mean that that's the way it has to be in the future. It's just like other things I was saying, other injustices that we've ended, that we've all fought against. You like to say that if you were back in those times when women were being oppressed or people were being enslaved just because of their race or their religion or whatever. You say that you would be against that, but right now what we have is a situation where these other innocent animals are being oppressed, and you're fighting for that. You're fighting to keep this injustice the way it is instead of fighting against it.
Are we oppressing animals? They are oppressed.
Well, what do you think? Do you think that they're not oppressed?
Of course they're not oppressed.
We make every decision in our best interest to negatively impact these animals. Even if they are treated okay, even if they're treated okay during their life, they only live a fraction of their life, and then we take them out for our benefit. we've selectively bred these animals to the point where if they did live a fuller, longer life, a lot of them they become disabled, and they have it increases all these risks for all these horrible things. They get older and they suffer because of the way we've treated them over generations and generations. So we're trying to talk to open-minded people, not people that just want to make excuses. And it's really crazy to me when women come up here and say that they support exploiting the female body. Like, that's... Like, do better. That's so crazy.
It's wild. And also, like, I've never understood the, like, vegans are forcing it on people. One, you're coming up to join a panel of your own volition. Two, name one corporate vegan lobbying group. There's literally not one single corporate vegan lobbying group.
Yeah, exactly. I always joke around that I'm going to keep some broccoli in my pocket, so when I talk to people on the street and they want to say that I'm forcing them, I'm going to try to put broccoli in their mouth. And throw broccoli at them. All right, we have the next guest here. What's your name? Are you over 18?
Jeter BC.
Yeah, Jeter. What's up?
So I do not hate animals. Okay. The cycle of energy starts with producers and, 10% rule. I'm pretty sure we all know that. We were taught that in school. And, different animals are classified as like omnivores or herbivores or carnivores, all this other stuff.
Yep.
Us, humans, we are born as omnivores, meaning we can eat both meat and plants and sustain our diet on them.
Right, we can.
Okay.
Jeter, how old are you?
14. Why?
Okay, you're not old enough to be on this panel. You should look up what a trophic scale is and go to PETA for Kids on YouTube.
What?
You need to be 18 to be on a TikTok panel. Jake, I don't think I'm able to drop him.
I got it. Sorry, man. Come back another time. You can ask your questions in the comments. I guess come back in 4 years. You sound like you're a lot older. I appreciate you trying to have a genuine conversation. That's it's a lot more mature of you than most people that are your age, and even some people that are older. So I appreciate you trying, but it's TikTok's rules, not mine. So you can go to the Animal Justice 21 if you want to. There's a speech there you can listen to on the very first day. You might learn some stuff from there. Nothing's graphic.
We're also not obligate omnivores. We are opportunistic omnivores.
Right.
And no matter what, it's still, we should be focused on the victims, not on, like, I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Hello, guys.
Yeah, sorry, I brought up two people at once. We're gonna do Peso first, and then
What's going on, guys?
how are you doing?
I'm doing all right. Are we talking about why we hate animals?
Yeah, do you hate animals?
I don't hate animals
Okay, why not?
because animals are awesome, man.
Why do you think animals are awesome?
I don't know, dude. I mean, I have a cat. I have a dog. My animals are awesome. I love my animals.
Okay, so you think cats and dogs are awesome. I agree. I think cats and dogs are awesome. What about like cows and pigs and chickens? Do you think they're awesome too?
Yeah, I think they're awesome. I've had plenty of chicken and pigs and cows.
You had them. Are you a farmer?
No. Well, family owned. Our family owns livestock.
Livestock. So, do you think that when you treat animals like livestock and we raise them up and then we take them out for something we don't need, do you think you're not hating them?
Absolutely not hating them. I mean, we're just feeding off of them.
But you have other options, right? So why would you say that it's not hate? Do you think if somebody did that to you, would it be justified to say that?
I wouldn't consider it hate.
No.
I'm not gonna think that because if I raised a lion or a tiger and they ate me, that they hated me. Sometimes it's just their nature.
Right, but are you a lion? Do you think that maybe we can show a little bit more compassion and empathy than a lion?
Maybe so, but I mean, I do feel empathy and compassion. I'll make sure to raise them right. I'll take care of their illnesses, and if they do get sick, I'll love on them. I'll care for them. But
Sure. Well, that's nice. But then, so you love them while they're alive. You care for them while they're alive. But then on that last day, when you're taking them out, do you see how that's hateful? In that
I don't think it would be
action?
hateful. I think it would just be out of necessity, out of necessity, and it's less wasteful of a life. I think that
You wait, hold on. You think that it's not wasting their life by killing them to eat them?
correct.
Think about it the complete opposite way. They have a life. They want to continue to live, and you're taking that away from them. You are wasting their life when you kill them.
What about whenever they grow old and they're of no use?
Are those the animals that you're eating right now?
Correct.
So you're only eating animals that are dying from old age.
No. I'm talking about the ones that won't. I don't let them die from old age.
Well, you said if they're of no longer of any use to you, so their value to you and the extent to which you love them is the extent to which you can use and profit off of or exploit them.
Correct.
And you see that as genuine love.
But there is love in it, yes. I would die for these animals. I would kill for these animals.
But you wouldn't just not eat them for them, but you would die for them?
I've kept them some till they die of old age, yes.
Well, you said that it's not really adding up to me because you said
It's
that
not.
it's
It's
out
a
of
weird
necessity.
relationship.
But
It's a weird relationship.
I'm still talking, Peso. I'm still talking.
Sorry about that.
You said that you would die for them.
Correct.
And then you said that out of necessity, which I don't believe is true, that you are taking their lives to consume them. So even if it were out of necessity, if I love my dog, and if I say that I would die for my dog, then I would not consume my dog when he no longer, whatever he does for me. If I had him folding my laundry and then he stopped being able to fold my laundry, I wouldn't take his life and eat him.
No, absolutely not.
So why is it different with the cows and the pigs and the chickens? They have just as much capacity for love and joy and pain and terror and familial bonds and friendship as you do, as I do, as dogs do, as cats do.
Yes. So that y'all consider that as a hateful thing towards them?
Well, I don't think that, I would believe, a serial killer if they said that they loved people, Because their actions say otherwise.
But I wouldn't consider myself as an empathetic person towards animals because I kill them to feed family.
Well, you have a farm, you could grow other crops to feed your family, you could go to a grocery store, you could order things online. There's a lot of other things you can do. I think that maybe you're struggling to make the connection and put yourself in I'm still talking. You seem to have a problem with interrupting women. I'd like you to maybe try and be mindful of that in this conversation. I would like you to try and put yourself in the shoes of the victims in this situation.
Okay.
The victims being the animals. Would you trade places with them?
If I was to be livestock, and I was born to be livestock, then I think that I have no choice but to be livestock.
No, you do have a choice. If they have this wonderful life that you give them, you love them so much, you would die for them. Would you trade places with them?
Yes, absolutely.
You would, and you would be slaughtered at the end of the day the second you're not useful?
If that's what my niche in life would be, yes.
I don't believe you.
So wait, you're saying if like a group of humans like grabbed you from wherever you're residing right now and then forced you into like a situation where they are going to farm and utilize your body, they're going to like, you know, make you larger so that they can then unalive you. You think you're like okay with that happening to you? Like,
I mean, to a certain point, depends on what my niche would be as an animal. If you're saying as a human,
I'm asking you in your rational self right now. Like
my rational self, that makes no sense because I'm a human.
Well, the whole point is to ask you the question now while I can have a rational conversation with you. If you were to magically turn into an animal, I can't have a rational conversation with you, right?
Of course.
Right. So the question is, within your rational self right now, would it be okay for me to go ahead and like needlessly like have someone come along and like pick you up from where you are now and start farming you for your flesh? I mean, especially when they don't need to do that.
I mean, I guess I wouldn't let it happen.
Well, let's say they're going to make it happen. You can't fight back against this. Is it
Well,
like
then I have.
is it a good thing that they're doing that?
I wouldn't have an opinion at that point whether it's good or bad because
Wait,
if they're feeding off of me and
wait, hold on. If someone overpowers you in some way, you can no longer have an opinion as to whether it's good or bad what's happening to you. You're saying that like
I know what I'm saying is it wouldn't matter.
It's terrifying, dude. Like you're
I'm
like literally saying that if like a woman or a child or something was like being oppressed and exploited and overpowered by someone more powerful than them,
That's
then
completely
suddenly they
wild.
would have zero opinion as to whether something happening to them is good or bad.
Wild. That's not what I'm saying.
Why are you laughing at that?
You would
That's a really weird thing to laugh about.
Yeah, you
That's
only got
because this guy's completely crazy by saying that.
you only got
but
20
you're the one who
seconds.
just said that if some group
It's because you just compared an animal to a child is why he's laughing, I think.
It's not your turn to speak.
No, I just wanted to chip in, that's all. I'll go back on mute.
But the
My
point would be
goodness.
that like you're saying that if a group came along, like why I'm using that analogy is to try to help you understand. It's not to make something goofy. It's to show you that like if someone came along and grabbed you and dragged you into like some kind of holding cell or whatever, just something against your will, and their goal was to, you know, fatten you up and turn you into meat for them to consume, and again, especially to do so needlessly, you wouldn't have an opinion as to whether that's good or bad?
I mean, if they treated me anything how I treat my animals, I'd probably be okay till probably the last moment. What I wouldn't till the last moment. I mean, or whenever. I mean, I was raised this way.
Wait, in 2 to 5 years' time, they're going to take your life from you.
And I don't know this, right?
Needlessly
We're gonna-
for a taste pleasure.
We're gonna
I
move
don't know
on.
this.
So
I don't know this, or I know this.
last comment.
Wait, why would that? Wait, you think that matters?
Absolutely.
Okay, so if I have a child who cannot conceive, like I could even say like a child with severe mental disabilities who can't conceive of past, present, and future in any like meaningful way, it's now okay for me to farm them because they can't conceive of past, present, and future?
No, because it's a human.
Okay, then what's the morally relevant distinction between the human animal and the non-human animal? Oh.
No, sorry. He was taking too long. I don't know if he was getting it. Based on all the conversations I've had before, if people aren't getting it in the first 5 minutes, then they're not. We're just gonna keep going in circles with them.
Yeah,
So,
probably was done. I agree.
and we have another person up here. How do you say your name?
It's not my name, it's the last 4 letters of my last name.
Okay. Well, what can we call you?
Just call me Grayson, it's my actual name.
Grayson. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm Jake. Why do you hate animals?
I don't really hate animals. I just don't see that it's more like murder if I'm eating an animal other than if I was eating crops, if that makes any sense.
You want to explain that a little more?
Yeah, like, just because I already eat an animal doesn't mean I were to hate them. I'm not gonna go up to a cow and brutally mutilate it, but if I'm eating it, it's completely different. Like, I'm not gonna go abuse an animal, but...
to do it.
Yeah, you know what happens to these animals so that you can put them in a sandwich or whatever, right? You don't think that's brutal?
Yeah, you know what happens. They get euthanized pretty accordingly. It's actually legal to brutally,
It's legal
mutilate.
to put pigs into gas chambers. They don't just fall asleep like some people say. They thrash around, they scream, they cry, they kick their hooves off their feet.
I understand, and that's definitely not the best way to take them out. Obviously,
It
I'm not
actually it
agreeing with
is.
that.
The USDA says that's the most humane way. They're actually trying to push more gas chambers for all the birds now too. In other countries, most birds are killed in gas chambers or stunned in gas chambers, and then their blood's drained out. So in the U.S., it's only like it's only like 10% of the birds, but they're trying to increase that. With pigs in the U.S., it's around 90% of pigs. They're forced into gas chambers. They're tortured.
No, yeah, I understand that. I disagree that that's the most humane way to take out a pig. I think the most humane way would be, I forget what it's called. It's a gun where it injects a nail into their head. It sounds gruesome, but it is probably the best way to take them out.
It's a captive bull gun, but yeah, like the idea here isn't like hate doesn't just like start. Like hate doesn't start at the point of like doing something in like the least painful way possible. Like if someone had like, I don't know, a human beside them and they just went, I want to unalive this person for a menial taste pleasure, and I want to do so, again, not because I have to, but for my own personal pleasure. But I'm going to do it in a slightly nicer way. I'm going to unalive them with this captive bolt gun or some like other implement that makes it relatively painless. I'm still doing something hateful by needlessly oppressing and exploiting them, though, by taking their very life from them. The most important thing from them is being stripped away by me for a menial, trivial pleasure. That's not, like, that's the part where the hate began, not, like, the more egregious ways, like, yeah, I could, like, skin them alive, and that would be perhaps more hateful, you could say, but it wouldn't say that, oh, the hate is non-existent. The hate is still there. Like, you're still oppressing and exploiting them needlessly for a trivial reason.
No, I do understand where your point comes from. I mean, I don't know if you guys would agree, but wouldn't pushing the way that these animals would be captivated and giving them a better quality of life and letting them live for a lot longer? Because there is about, I think, 1 billion chickens in just the U.S. alone, I think. And just if we kept them in safer, I guess, aspects and better environments, natural environments, and then when they got to their old age or were getting sick or something else happened, we would then euthanize them and eat them. Would you agree that that would be a more safe way?
When we euthanize animals, we typically give them an injection to cause, like, painless unalivement, or to the best of our extent, a painless unalivement. The other thing is that we're not trying, like, for instance, vegans are, like, against the pet industry. We take care of rescue animals because they have nowhere else to go. But when they get unalived, we're not, like, demanding or asking for more animals to replace their position. We're actively trying to get the pet industry to end, and the same would be true here. Like, even if we were to, like, hypothetically, I'm not going to advocate for what you're saying, but even if we were to hypothetically advocate for what you're talking about, it would be to do that once and then stop doing it altogether. Like, at best. Like, what you're talking about would be like, all right, let's take care of them until their ripe old age, and then we'll go ahead and euthanize them and consume them, and that's the end of it. That would be the end of it. It wouldn't be let's breed more into existence to repeat the exact same cycle that created them in this like disparaging situation to begin with.
But if there were studies to show that they enjoyed a quality of life as the same would be it in the wild, would that not, how would that change anything different if they were born into it and they still have good quality of life and nothing is really torturing them, or they're not held in very short, confined, cramped spaces and there's actually a great environment? Would that be different, or than them living
No,
in
you're
the
still
wild?
seeing them as a commodity and a resource. Like, you're still actively oppressing and exploiting them for your own menial, trivial interests. Like, it's one thing to be like, I want to create like these greater environments for these animals to like live within. That's a completely different argument from I want to create these environments that are greater for these animals to live in, so that I can enjoy what comes from their labor and their exploitation and use.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say that. I would say that it's more of them actually living how they would be in the wild. Like, what I'm trying to get at is, obviously, cattle houses, I can get behind the idea that being, big, large farms with a ton of bred cows and stuff being killed, I can get why that's bad. But let's say a hunter goes out in the wild and sees, I don't know, a deer or whatever, it doesn't matter really, and shoots and kills that deer like how people have been doing for thousands of years, and not like reproducing them for the sole purpose. Would that be better or worse in your opinion?
Again, we could say something is better, but that doesn't mean it's good, right? The
I'm
action
not
is
saying
still
it's
problematic.
great. Yeah, I'm not saying it's like a great. It's obviously still, at the end of the day, an animal is still dying, yes, but you're still, it is a food source, and we have been doing it for thousands of years, and you know what I mean?
Us doing something for thousands of years is a terrible justification for anything. You could say that about any form of oppression that has ever existed. We've always done things this way is one of the most dangerous arguments in all of history, and it is a way to abstract and take away from the grounded reality of what is happening to these animals that are being victimized. I also think that you are confused about what euthanasia entails. Euthanasia, the injection is called phenobarbital. It is not painless. That is why beforehand, when let's say we are putting a dog to sleep because they are terminally ill and they are in excruciating pain, they are given 2 injections. One is like basically anesthesia. It puts them to sleep so they're not feeling anything. Then they are given phenobarbital. You could not consume the flesh of an animal that has been given that. That is also what is given to human beings when they receive capital punishment, which is a whole nother discussion we're not going to get into. But that you cannot consume that flesh. It is full of actual poison. So no, the euthanasia itself is not painless. Also, no matter how great of a life an animal has, let's say every single day I give my dog pedicures and treats and all of these wonderful things, but at the end of the day, I am caring for him purely to consume him for my own pleasure, my own taste pleasure. That is wrong. And so we can make as many hypotheticals as we want to, and well, what about hunting? What about better conditions? What about this? At the end of the day, you're not considering the perspective of the victims or putting yourself in their shoes. And I think that's really important. There are documentaries you can watch. There's one called Dominion from 2018. It's free on YouTube. I think that would be a really great starting place for you to be able to actually see and witness what these animals are going through, and to try and put yourself in their shoes and ask yourself, would I trade places with them?
Well, I have one more. I understand. I'm not very educated on the topic, obviously, but I kind of like, I'm obviously like pro meat or whatever. Like I'd rather eat meat than crops and stuff like that. And me saying, oh, we've been doing it for thousands of years, it's not like slavery happened for 1,000 years. That doesn't make it okay, but it's like human nature, you know what I mean? So, and it's not human nature to enslave someone. So that's not really like, you can't really compare the two, if that makes any sense. Is that where you're going with that? And the other thing I wanted to say is like, pesticides all over crops to defend from animals eating them and stuff like that, to make sure they're not contaminated and stuff like that. That also kills animals. So if you have a big farm and they're heavily pesticided to keep away like squirrels and ground squirrels and stuff, or any type of ants or anything like that, if you are killing ants or squirrels for that, you are still harming animals. So there's no like really perfect world where veganism is entirely the best thing ever and doesn't harm any animals, because it still does kill millions of animals a year.
Veganism is not about perfection. I'd love you to find a statistic that says millions. Also, 70% of the crops that are grown in this country are used to feed animals that we then consume. 70%. Human beings only eat 30%, and that's all human beings, not vegans. Vegans make up between 1 and 3% of the population, depending on what study you look at. That's a very small part of the population consuming those plants compared to people who are not vegan, and much less, way less than half compared to the animals that are being fed those crops, those animals that you and other people consume.
No, I understand. So what is veganism about if it's not about saving all the animals and trying to save as much as they can? Is it about saving as much as you can and not all of them?
Veganism is not an anti-death movement. Everything that lives dies. Veganism is a stance and choices that you make that do not require others to be victimized. Does not require the victimization of other sentient beings. That's what veganism is.
Okay, so the whole thing. So what I'm understanding from this is that to pretty much stop cruelty against animals.
Sure, I think that's one way to describe it. I think
Like,
it's
is
more
that
than
like
that.
I'm obviously dumbing it down, but is that like a way to kind of describe it? You'd say.
Like it's just the opposition to the needless oppression and exploitation of sentient life as far as is possible and practicable. That could be like, more egregious forms of, animal abuse, like taking dogs for fun. It could be things that have been normalized in our society, like eating animals for a taste pleasure. It could be other things that were once normalized but are now no longer normalized, like dog fighting rings. Like, it's just the opposition to these like institutions and bodies and methods of using and exploiting a sentient being, especially for like a trivial interest, that we should be opposing and finding alternatives for these things, moving away from them, advocating for their that we should stop them, etc.
Grayson, do you want to learn more? You can learn more with Animal Justice 21 there. Just go through those days and answer those questions. Be honest with yourself, and you can learn a lot going through that program.
I'll read up on it because I don't really know much what I'm talking about, but I'll read up on it. I'll see it.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you saying that, because I was in your position too. Like, I didn't really know much about it, and I wish that there was a resource like this when I decided to go vegan. So,
because I'm not fully, anti-vegan. I'm more open-minded, so I'll look at something about it. But yeah,
okay.
I'm not like very closed-minded about it. I see why people are vegan. It makes sense.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's just I don't really understand enough about it to really see you know what I mean, both of them, the pros and cons of both of them, you know what I mean?
Can I add something just before he goes real briefly?
Of course.
So I can't remember what you said your name was.
Grayson.
Yeah.
Grayson. So Grayson, are you against oppression? Like, are you against injustice?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's literally this simple. Every single oppressive injustice throughout history was separated by the oppressors and those who they wanted to just accept it and support it based on a birth trait. So you need to look a lot deeper than where you're looking, and it's really, really simple. Humans are one species of animals among millions of species of animals, right? And the thing that we have in common that is important is that we all have a brain and pain receptors. We can think and feel. We can love our families. We can experience pain and fear and suffering, like Remy told you earlier. Well, so can other animals. So we've been literally indoctrinated to believe that other animals exist for us. They don't. There are other species who have their own families, their own feelings. They have one life to live just like we do, and they also want to live their life. But due to the fact that there are so many scumbags who can profit from enslaving them and genetically modifying them and stealing from their bodies, using them for entertainment as vehicles, eating their flesh, taking their breast milk, all of these horrible things. And notice how it's packaged that we don't see that part. We don't see the suffering. We don't see them being, in sanctuaries being playful. We don't know their personalities. In fact, one of the statements that you'll hear, well, many of the statements that you hear help us continue to be indoctrinated, like calling a person a sheep. You're just a sheep. The reason sheep behave like they do is because they're abused. When you're abused, if you look at people during the
they're born into
the Holocaust, right? If you were to go to those prison camps and you were to look at them, they would think, hey, I could just be myself and talk. No, they would all kind of sort of huddle together, staying away. They don't know if you're a bad person or a good person. They don't know if you want to harm them. Well, same with sheep. Look at the way we insult people. Pig, dog, snake, chicken. We say these things to keep us comfortable in ignoring the fact that these other individuals are individuals, and therefore we can also ignore the fact that they feel in all of these other things. So when you're actually against oppression, you don't pause that based on the birth traits of the victims that you're comfortable, whose oppression you're supporting. Once you go and you look at them, and you see them crying, you see them try to rescue each other, you see them try to get away, you see them scream, you'll start to realize that, what the hell am I doing? Like, just because I'm taught this is okay doesn't mean that it is. Legality and what's normal don't always allude to what's just or right. And so I'd ask you to start to think about them and think about yourself in their position, how innocent they are, how defenseless they're made. Can you do that?
Yeah, I can understand. There's just one more thing I'm just asking to just understand your guys' views on it. But let's say we lived in a perfect world where only animals were being killed from hunters or whatever, and there was no like slaughterhouses or anything like that. Whatever, or any like...
How is that a perfect world? I just asked you to put yourself in their position.
No.
If you have one life, and there's a hunter who decides that they want to chase you around and take your life against your will, how is that okay for your loved ones?
Well,
How is that okay for you?
It's a part of the food chain. If I go in the wild and a bear...
It's not, no. Here's what the
murders
food
me.
chain actually is, Kay. The food chain is energy efficiency through diet. If we care about the environment, then the most energy efficient diet is plants. So food chain doesn't mean that since we have the ability to harm someone, we should. It's about energy efficiency. So that would allude to the environment, and that would allude to you caring about it, not to some ridiculous idea that some idiot has put in our heads that, well, we need to eat other beings. When you're eating someone else's flesh, you're stealing their nutrients secondhand.
I understand. Wait, I understand
we're gonna
where you're
move
coming
on.
from, but
We've been
let's
up here
say
too long.
we were wild people and we were killing people or animals with bows and arrows.
We're getting off track here.
Why are you making shit up?
Grayson.
We literally.
I understand
Just-
that, but I'm just trying to get the
Go ahead, Jake.
Give
I
us-
thought that I could reach him. I can't.
Grayson, give us a follow. Follow the people up on the panel here, and come back in a couple of days. Do the first couple of days of Animal Justice 21, and then come back and let us know how things are going. Okay? And just try
Okay,
to.
so when I make a valid argument, you guys remove me. I got it.
I'm
You
doing
didn't make a
short
valued
conversations.
argument. You
You've been up
brought
here
a
way too long.
hypothetical so that you could keep ignoring the perspective of your victims.
Yeah, you got to think about it from, you got to put yourself in their position, right? And that's what, when people start talking about health and the environment and other things like that, they're being selfish. It's a very selfish mindset, and you're forgetting the victims. Alex, what's up?
Hello. I don't hate animals.
No, you don't. Can you explain why?
For example, especially when I look at the more domesticated animals like cats or dogs, I feel an overwhelming sense of affection. It's like a cuteness aggression. Like, yeah, I love cats. I have 4 of them.
Yeah, I love cats too. What about other animals like chickens and pigs and cows?
Chickens and pigs I look down on heavily. They're monogastric animals. I don't really like eating chicken or pork. I find it gross. But cows are delicious. Oh my god. And although they're cute, I'm sorry. I don't hate them, but
Are you actually sorry?
nothing else
It
tastes
doesn't
like
sound.
that.
Are you just coming up here to troll, or are you actually
I'm not trolling.
open to learning more about this, though?
I'm not trolling.
Okay, so would you agree that you're victimizing these animals?
No, I provide for them comfort that they would never find in nature.
Does that justify taking their life?
Y'all actually think that carnivorous joy is troll? That's crazy. No, I'm authentic.
Yeah, it's just it's a little weird because most people don't come up here and laugh about killing animals.
Well, most people are bitches.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you there.
Yeah.
I don't. I actually am not cool with men using
wow.
misogynistic slurs, and I would like him to be dropped.
misogyny. Oh, misogyny.
Okay.
Yeah, misogyny, Alex.
Yeah, that was kind of scary. He
His entire page is flesh. His whole page is flesh.
yeah, that's crazy because he gave a bunch of coins just to jump ahead of everybody and come up here and say some like really wild stuff.
Well, at least you got some coins.
Yeah, right.
I'm concerned for the people in his life that is how he acts.
Yeah.
And to like laugh in the face of torture and suffering like that and then immediately just go into misogynistic slurs, which isn't surprising but is really disgusting.
Hello.
Hello, hold on. I brought two people up by accident. Black, you can go first.
I don't believe I hate it. Like, what is this about?
Are you over 18?
Is it about? Is it like but people who eat meat or something? Or eat animals?
Well, it's about how do you feel about animals?
I don't hate them.
You don't hate them? Okay, so do you have any animals, any like companion animals, or animals that you've like had relationships with?
I was raised around cattle. So that's what I remember.
Yeah, cows.
Yeah.
So can you explain that a little bit more? You recognize them as individuals, right?
I guess so.
You guess so? Like, did you have any specific cow that you like connected with more than other ones?
I couldn't really connect with them because like the older guys would kept taking them like for like food or grass.
How old are you?
Oh yeah, I don't think he answered that.
Black, how old are you?
18,
What year were you born?
2008.
Okay.
So, do you have any cats or dogs, companion animals like that? Or you just had
I
relationship
did have a
with
dog,
cows?
but he died.
Okay, so would you say that you love the dog?
Sure.
What did you do with your dog after he died?
I buried him.
So why didn't you eat him?
I just like, yeah, I didn't have a feeling to eat him or like I didn't like crave dog or something.
But why?
I don't know. Like, that's the way I crave like other types of meat.
Why do you say that you crave eating other animals?
Like for a cow, like something. Yeah, I do have cravings for cows, goats, camels, chickens, fish. But like not for like predator animals, like dogs, you know, or cats or
Yeah, so your dog was an individual, right? And then you said these cows that you had relationships that you knew, they were individuals as well. You would agree that they can all be happy, they can be sad, they want to live, right?
yeah, every animal wants to, including us. We all just have that.
So if we have other alternatives instead of eating these animals or using them for clothing or entertainment or other products, do you think that we should choose those other products and just let these animals live?
If you're living in like a fully functional Western society, you do you. But I don't think for like those groups are living in the wild, or the ones I was born in. They had only animals to eat.
Okay, so where do you live? Like, what state are you in the U.S.? What state are you in?
No, I was born in Kenya,
You were born in Kenya? Well, where are you now?
in America.
Yeah, you're in the U.S. somewhere. Okay, so do you shop at a grocery store?
Yeah,
Yeah, so you have other alternatives, right?
no, not that much.
Yeah, well, I don't have that much either, but I have some.
I really don't pick. I only choose like the healthy. I don't really like.
You choose what? I couldn't really hear you. Your phone's breaking up a little.
Like if the animal's already killed, and the meat is there, like might as well just take it.
Yeah, but you realize when you're giving your money to these companies and these industries, you're telling them like, "Hey, I like this. Killing animals is good. Like, do more of this for me." You're voting with
They're
your
never
dollar.
gonna stop.
What's that? Sorry.
I don't think they're ever gonna stop though.
But you don't have to support them, right? If you're against animals being used for things that you don't need, how do you justify supporting those companies? Oh, I guess you got a phone call. He left. All right, Box, you're next.
Yo,
What did you think about that last conversation?
I don't know.
You don't
Wasn't
know?
listening that much.
Okay. You were up here the other day, right?
I think like a week ago or something.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't remember how our conversation went. Did we have a good conversation?
I just kept on getting like kicked. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, okay. So it must have not been that good of a conversation then. Did you look into the resources at all? I'm gonna guess no.
No, I don't really look at. Well, no, I didn't.
No, you didn't. Okay. So why did you come back up here? Are you open to learning more about things?
Well, I wanted to answer your question.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, I want to ask something first. Does eating meat mean you hate animals?
Well, what do you think?
I just want to ask you that.
Do you think that eating animals is not hating them? Like, do you think that you can respect somebody and consume them? Do you think you can love somebody and consume them?
I don't know. Probably not. But like, I was just want to say though, like, if eating meat like means I hate animals, then like, yeah, I do hate animals. Then.
Cool. So that's what you came up to tell us? Guess so.
Weird. Yeah. We have other guests here. Let's bring up the next person. Hopefully people listen to some of these guys and they realize, or women. There was the first person, Kami. I think that's how you say her name. They just like don't care at all. They want to say that they can love animals, or not, at least not hate them, and like, but we can do whatever we want to them. Like, it's a really strange position to be, and I think decent people that are just listening are gonna realize that, and hopefully they can go to the site and learn more. And maybe other people will change just by hearing some of these people with really crazy positions. R24. Hello. You're over 18, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Oh, thanks. Sorry, you cut out. What was that?
Yes, I am over 18.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I heard that. So do you hate animals?
No, I do not. I do not hate animals, no.
Okay, why do you not hate animals?
Because I believe animals are like a very important and viable part of people's everyday lives.
Okay, can you explain that a little more? What do you mean by that?
I think the world functions off animals. I think, like, the world wouldn't function. Like, animals sustain, like when animals poop. Like, animals are a very, like, important part of environments and ecosystems, and, like, certain, like, ecosystems would collapse without animals.
Do you think that wild animals are do you think wild animals are a good part of the environment? Like, we need wild animals to be good for the environment?
Yeah, like, I think we need animals, like, that roam free, like, graze. Like, I think we need, like, wild cows and that kind of stuff. Yes, I do.
So I learned something recently, that if you looked at like the percentages of humans to and domesticated animals, and you compared that to wild animals, there used to be, like, at one point, domesticated animals, including humans, was less than 50% of all the animals, and wild animals was the other 50%, right? What do you think what do you think that those percentages are today between wild animals and domesticated
I'm probably
animals?
like 75. Like, what will define domesticated? Like, what do you have as a domesticated animal? Like a pet, or like an animal that's like
Pets and
farm
livestock.
raised? Pets and livestock. Okay, I'd say like 75-25.
It's 96 to 4%.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah, there's only 4% of the wild animals left. And it's because we've been farming animals, like, with no consideration to those animals, to wild animals, even to ourselves. I like to say sometimes, like, we're killing these farmed animals as fast as we possibly can, while we're slowly taking out other species, and we're slowly killing ourselves too. It's not good for anyone.
I mean, yeah, I agree with that. Like, I feel like there should be a lot more live animals in the world than, like, I feel like there's a lot of different animals though. Like, there's no way that, like, wild animals, like, there's so many fish that are wild. Like, there's no way that only makes up 4%, because the world is 70% ocean. So there's no way that it's only 4%.
It's actually, that stat actually isn't including fish. It's just, I think.
Okay,
I think it's just land animals or something like that.
Yeah, because fish
Or
are
mammals.
also just like an underrepresented margin. Because, like, sure, they outpopulate humans by like crazy amounts, but they're also like the most overhunted animal in the world.
Yeah, there's. Have you ever seen Seaspiracy?
I have not. No.
They talked to some experts in the field, and they said that if we kept fishing, kept taking all these fish out of the ocean like we would have fishless oceans by 2050.
Yeah, like, I know where I am in the world, like, sturgeon hunting is very, very, like, popular, like, for their eggs and for, like, their large meats, and especially fishing them because they're so big.
Yeah.
So, like, that's, like, where I'm from, that's very, very popular, is, like, that sturgeon fishing and hunting. For sure.
Yeah, would you ever pull an animal out of the water and let them just like suffocate?
So I have participated in like recreational fishing. I think it is cruel, but like at the same time, it's not like I'm like holding the animals out and waiting for them to die. Like I'm not intentionally like, it's a sport and it's something that has been like integrated into like Western societies and traditions. But fishing for hunting has been around since like humans, before humans could speak. Like,
Sure, but now we have other alternatives. So
options.
like you said, it's literally just a sport. People just go and they do it for fun.
yeah, but people also do put fish in our supermarkets. Like there is a small percent of that fishing that is needed for like meats in supermarkets. I'm saying vast majority of it isn't good, but fishing is still needed.
Well, it's not though because we have other options. And there's actually I keep seeing this ad for a plant-based fish company. I forget what it's called, but they just had like an ad in New York, like right in Times Square or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
There's other options out there. Like you could try some of these plant-based fish options, and
Yeah,
you
but-
probably wouldn't
but
even really be able to tell the difference.
Fish have like some of the most like important vitamins for you, like your omega-3s and all like very important like fish oils and stuff like that. And I fear they're like harshly harvested and not very fair to the animals. But like some of these things are like very, very, very harsh on like animals, but they are needed for like day-to-day cognitive functions. And
So they're not needed. Where do you think the fish get their omega-3s?
I'm pretty sure it's in their like oils and they get it naturally, do they not? Or do they get it from like plants and stuff?
They get it from eating the algae. So you know what you could do? Skip the fish and
But
get...
how much algae would I need to consume
Hold on.
to like have it be viable?
Very small amount.
So
Actually?
I take this right here. It's a vegan omega-3 algae
Oh,
oil.
sure.
It's got DHA and EPA. What everybody says you need to eat fish for, you can get it right here. It's from Mav Nutrition.
Okay. But also, like, if we leave all these animals, right? Do you ever think, like, overpopulation of animals is possible? Like, say we stop hunting all animals in general, and they break into, like, suburban, like, America almost, where, like, now hoods are filled with cows, and, like, now we can't use cars, now we can't use all these things because we have overpopulation of animals. Do you think that's ever an outcome? Like,
You mean
that
like
becomes
humans?
so yeah, like, well, humans, yes, because humans were able, like, to almost bypass everything because we are, like, we're smarter than most other animals, and we found out ways to, like, take and be smarter. Because, like, in the beginning, humans were not top. Like, a bear could come and kill a human. Like, many things could take humans, but humans evolved and they became smarter, and that's how. And humans are overpopulating, and it's very upsetting, and like all the pollution we're putting on the world. But say we stop everything, couldn't it just be the same? Couldn't animals just overpopulate?
No, so like we were talking about earlier, it's like 60%. It's mammals in that research. It's 60% of the mammals are domesticated animals that we breed. We breed these animals. So if more people were vegan, we would be breeding less animals. So those populations would go down.
That's true, but there's like we breed them like controlled, which is also very harsh. Like no animal should be breed controlled and be forced to breed. But aren't wild boars also like a problem? Like if you like let wild boars, don't they like eat other animals and like take over and like endanger habitats? But like doesn't
Sure.
Texas have a like problem with that right now?
We're kind of going back to like the environment again. So like, what does this have to do with the choices that you make throughout your day-to-day life with what you consume, including like clothing, where you go?
I consume like nutrients that my body needs to require because I play a lot of sports and like I'm big on being physically active and being healthy for my body. So I like to eat things that are like good for me, that sustain me, keep me active.
Yeah.
And yeah, it is about that energy switch. And I believe that I like to eat like meats and animals and like Yes, the taste is good, but it's not all about the taste. It's about what it gives my body, and it's about what fuels me and keeps
you
me
know,
active and in good shape. And
So these are selfish thoughts again, right? You're forgetting the
Yeah.
victims behind these choices, but there's also there's another thing that you might not be aware of. A percentage of there's a higher percentage of athletes that are plant-based and vegan than compared to non-athletes, right? So like the whole world, there's about 2% vegans. There's not that many vegans, but when you look at professional athletes, it's closer to like 10% are plant-based or vegan.
yeah,
So-
and the thing, meats aren't the biggest part of my diet. Like, I'd say 50% of my diet is all plants. I'd only say 25% of my diet would be animal product. I'd really say, like, it's not like I'm putting a 75%, like I'm not eating majority meats. I'm saying it's a important part of my meal, but it's not the entire meal. It's not a big meal. And I know it sounds selfish, but everybody needs this. Like, other animals need to eat other animals to stay alive. Like, a fox needs to eat a rabbit to, like, sustain itself and for energy. Like, a fox can't eat plants. It's not the same. I know we can. We're omnivores, technically.
You're not a fox, and none of us need that. If we needed that, us vegans up here on the panel wouldn't exist. So you just keep on saying things that aren't true, and you keep on bypassing the perspective of your victims. Why do you do that?
Yeah,
Why do you
okay.
keep bypassing their perspective? You continue to like look for little you're coming from a standpoint of ill-perceived human supremacy. Might makes right doesn't make somebody supreme. It makes them a bully. It makes them a POS. That's what it makes them.
Yeah.
I'm talking to you
have
about the victims, okay? I'm advocating for your victims, and I'm trying to get you to see them and the fact that there is nothing that you need to be stealing from their bodies in order to make your life good. You could live a good life without supporting oppression and suffering for other individuals. You don't need to be taking other individuals' one single life from them, taking them from their families, putting them through these hells, supporting genetic modification.
But animals take other animals' lives all the time. Like, animals.
You're not a wild animal,
It doesn't matter
though.
who does. It's wrong, period. So
You need
whenever
to
we
stop.
say something,
Fox wrong for eating
whenever
something
we
else,
say
am I?
All right,
something,
hold on.
hold on, please, hold on. Whenever we say, oh, well, other people do it or other animals do it, it doesn't matter. If something is unjust, it's unjust. Whoever is doing it doesn't make it something good. What has become normalized or accepted or legal doesn't make injustice good.
But
And
it's
you can't
instinct.
hold on. No, it isn't instinct. It is not instinct.
It is. Why do you
No, it
think
isn't.
certain
It's
things go-
indoctrination.
Yeah,
It's
you've been-
indoctrination.
you've
That's
been,
what it is. You are taught to believe that you need to steal from other individuals. You are taught to believe that you are superior to other individuals. You don't think about their abilities that you don't have. You just think about your abilities that
Wait,
they don't have.
question.
And
When
you
a-
think, no,
Why do
not
you-
until you think about the perspective of your victims.
I'm
Why
not-
should I keep on thinking
Thought
about
it.
your feelings? You don't think about the perspective. They're literally not in your position to harm anybody the way that you do.
I mean,
But you're also
we can test this really quickly. Do you think because like a horse might randomly at times, whether it's instinctual or not, or natural or not, they might kick someone in the face, right? Do you think that because
like defense, though, that's
sure,
'cause they feel threatened.
sure, but sometimes they can do it for some trivial reason, right? That's not always the case, right?
Yeah,
we don't
that's
have full like guidance and understanding of every time an animal does an action, whether it's purely for defense or not.
You're
Sometimes
correct.
they do just do it for their own amusement. Would you say that if you saw a wild animal kick another animal in the face for their amusement, that you should repeat the same action?
No, but I'm also saying what makes animals hunt other animals. Like, when you think about it, like, why can
It
an
doesn't
eagle just
matter.
pick berries off a plant?
What
that's
other animals
that's
do
unimportant.
that does not matter.
You're a rational being. The whole point would be to stop making an appeal to nature fallacy, right? Do you know what that fallacy is?
No, I do not.
Right. So it's the idea of like trying to ascribe something as morally justified simply because it's natural, right? If that was like something that someone could actually like utilize in a meaningful way, then it would mean that like people who go around essaying people could like appear before a judge and jury and explain, well, Your Honor, I had a sexual urge in my lower regions and it You know, it was just a natural thing that happens within my body, so I did the action.
Right.
And then they would go, oh, well, then it's okay to do it because it's a natural thing within your body to do that action.
But humans are smart enough to understand that that's wrong and unjust. And
Exactly. And
That's
you're
the whole
in the position
point.
to recognize and be rational enough to know that what you're doing
I don't
to
go around
these
saying
animals
raping
is
is cool, but like most animals mating isn't that majority rape? Like they don't think this is my partner for life. They just mate and move on.
That's exactly my point, right? You're rational, hopefully, right? So
Yeah.
You wouldn't just say the action of it's natural is what justifies the action. You would consider the victim. You would consider the other problems within the action beyond just the action itself, right?
Yeah, but
That's the difference. Like, if you were asking for what's the morally relevant difference between you and a fox or you and some other wild animal, the morally relevant difference is that you're a rational individual who can think things through. That's the difference.
I don't even actually think that that's true. I think that's a bunch of bullshit. I think that humans like to pretend, they like to position themselves as rational. But look what we're doing. We're literally destroying the environment of which our habitat depends.
Yeah.
How is that an intelligent or rational or superior?
we
That's
have-
absurd. I've watched other animals in nature protect each other far more than I watch other humans. When other humans see another human being harmed, they pull out their phone and record it. They don't rush to try to help or put themselves in danger. So no, I don't believe that.
We
I also
have the
think that
ability to be rational.
this kid is just saying stuff. He doesn't care. And until he's willing to see the perspective of his victims, he's never going to see it. He's just going to keep
All right, hold on.
pivoting.
Everybody
He's
stop.
just going to stop talking for a second. He's just going to keep pivoting to the things that make him comfortable to look away from the perspective of his victims. And it's infuriating to me
We're gonna
that
move
people are
on.
this stupid.
Thanks, Sarah and Keith. Will you check out the resource here? There's a lot you can learn from an ethics perspective. You have to stop making selfish decisions, and there's even vegan squad coaching. There's a section on the resource page you can go to. They're bodybuilding vegans. There's some free things there that you can look at that'll help with like nutrition and bodybuilding and being an athlete and all that stuff. So you can still be at peak athletic level if you want to, but really go to the site, do the 21 days, and really ask yourself those questions. It's not about we're not telling you what to do. You have to sit with yourself and ask yourself these hard questions and be honest with yourself about it, and then make the change. So that went a little longer with that guy than I would have liked. But we have some other people trying to come up. Hopefully they're still here. He just kept going back to selfish idea after selfish idea, and don't want to sit with people like that too long. Sounded a little open-minded at first. Now all these people are gone. Lil B. Looks like Lil B's coming up. I can't tell what the picture is. Hello.
Hello.
What's up?
What's going on, man?
Trying to have some conversations about animals. Do you hate animals?
I love animals.
You love animals? So how do you treat animals?
What kind of animals are we talking about?
All animals. Give me an example. Pick whatever animal you want.
Well, there's all kinds of animals all across the world, and all of those animals have purposes in life.
What do you think an animal's purpose is?
Well, I'm asking you, which animal are you talking about?
Do you think animals have different purposes based on how they're born?
No. Absolutely not. Because an animal is what it is at birth, just like humans are. So it's born and it's bred to be the same breed, and that breed or that type of animal has a purpose in life.
Okay, so what do you think their purpose is?
Well, of what? Like a cow? You want to talk about cows first?
We can. I mean, you just said that they have their own purpose, right? So
Yep.
do you
Y'all
agree?
want to
All
sit here and talk about vegans and all of this stuff, right? And talk about all these different proteins and algae and all of this stuff you can eat. If you were to go naturally, get these things and eat them from nature instead of them being processed by companies that you buy them from, it would take forever for your body to process it and get anything out of it. That's why cows have so many stomachs, because they eat grass all day and they have to separate, stand, and everything from that, and it breaks down so they can get nutrients out of it.
It's just like, again, some kind of like appeal to nature fallacy.
Yeah, you're actually, a lot of supplements are like more bioavailable than like eating food, whatever you're eating. If you have a deficiency, you should probably be taking a supplement. It's gonna help you quicker,
Or you
more
just go
consistently than anything
get the
else.
natural thing instead of taking a supplement.
Wait,
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't know exactly what is in whatever you're consuming. The best way is if you have an issue that you're trying to
How do I
fix,
know what's in it? How do
you
I
should
know
take
what's
a
in
supplement.
a processed thing from a company?
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
like, hey.
Like the cows that are that go through a
No,
slaughterhouse.
I'm talking about the stuff you're saying to go buy.
What do you mean? You
How
can
do I
see
know what's
exactly
in
what's on there. It tells you what's in there.
Because you can read a label.
They're third-party lab tested
You know?
and accredited.
Right.
Yeah, when you go buy a piece of meat from the butcher, like, you don't know exactly
You don't
what
go
you're
and buy
getting
a
out
piece
of that.
meat from the butcher. That's the problem. You go.
What are you
go
talking
and
about?
You go and you raise a cow. You raise a cow. You
Oh,
know what
you
you
gotta
put
raise
in
the
it,
cow.
and then you have it slaughtered yourself.
So
hang
you
it.
think everyone
If
should
you're-
have their own
Wait,
cow and raise their own cow?
Do you measure the
If you're
cobalt?
that worried
Do you measure the
about what you're
cobalt
gonna
levels?
get from whatever, then yes,
Hold on.
take care of your body and do it naturally,
Hold on.
like the
Do you
good Lord.
measure?
Bro,
Do you measure the cobalt levels in every square inch of your property? The ground cobalt levels. Do you measure every square inch of it to confirm that you have like
Absolutely.
enough cobalt?
On farmland, everything is soil sample.
Absolutely.
Everything is yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
So wait, if your cobalt levels were severely depleted, what would you do for the cows?
Well, I wouldn't be making any batteries.
batteries though.
That's not no.
You're talking ignorant, bro. You're talking
so,
really ignorant.
Cobalt is
Little
consumed
bit
by the
fun.
cattle and other ruminants, and then they're able to endogenously produce B12 in their hindgut through consumption of the cobalt. If you don't have the cobalt, you don't have cobalamin in the later aspect from B12, for example. So, like, here's an example. If you don't properly measure or ensure that you're getting enough of these things, you're going to effectively be met with the need to supplement these cows with cobalt for them to adequately produce enough B12 within their bodies. And that's commonly an occurrence.
Or should I just go get some supplements, right? I could just go buy some supplements.
If you're living in Australia, for example,
so that they could be.
I was still talking. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we're not gonna really continue that. You can say what you were gonna say, but he's not gonna be up here any longer.
Yeah, if you're living in Australia or other certain regions around the world, they have like severely depleted cobalt levels, so they're in the vast majority of cases forced to give them ruminant-based cobalt supplements. So like, no matter where you are, like, you can commonly be forced into a scenario where you're like having to like provide a supplement either to a middleman, a non-human animal, to then consume that non-human animal, or you could just go and consume a supplement directly. Like, there's no argument showing why taking the supplements is innately bad or won't give you the thing that you need or whatever else he wants to say about that. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that was crazy. And I'm actually drinking Huel. This has like all the nutrients that you need in a meal, with one of these. And the guy that was on here before him talking about nutrition and athletes and stuff like that, maybe he would like to try this out too. It's cheap. It's not expensive. It's only like $2.50 per meal. But yeah, you can get everything that you need on a plant-based diet. But yeah, when we keep talking about nutrition and diets and things like that, we're forgetting the victims behind these choices. It doesn't really matter about nutrition. Like, you can be vegan and be unhealthy if you want to. But these animals matter, even just one individual. To that one individual, it's their whole world. So we have to stay focused on them.
I wanted to say thank you for being vegan, for having to keep eating more meat. You know, they just taste really good, and I hope we keep killing them and eating them.
And
He was on VSL's live
Yeah.
3 times earlier, and
yeah.
it was just to say those ridiculous comments and then leave.
Well, hopefully maybe somebody oh cool, he came right back. Look at that. You left and then you came right back.
He's just gonna say the same
And-
thing again.
No, it's okay, because when he comes back like that, then I can easily block him. So, goodbye. Goodbye, Nikki. You won't come back. You won't be back, so. Zombie. Is your name Zombie Hunter?
Yeah.
Zombie Hunter King. Are you over 18?
A little bit.
A little bit over 18? What year were you born?
Why you want to know?
So I can check if you're over 18.
Why do you like animals? I eat them for breakfast.
Are you over the age of 18?
I tried to give him a little bit of extra time there to figure it out, and he can't even figure it out even after giving him a minute. Lil B, we're not gonna bring you back up, I'm sorry, but I don't think you were being very honest with yourself. Just talking about nutrition and appeal to nature again. We literally just talked about that. Oh, not 2 people coming up at once. Okay, SS was first, so unknown hang out for a minute. SS, you're over 18?
What?
You're over 18?
Yes, I'm 34 years old. I have 2 kids and yeah.
Cool, I'm 34 also. So why do you hate animals? And he's gone. Maybe he'll come back. Alright, unknown. You can unmute. Let me know what's up.
Yeah, I'm 21.
Okay, cool. Why do you hate animals?
I don't think not being vegan is hating animals.
How?
There could be a reason.
Before that, what is veganism?
It's a norm. It's an applied ethical position that just states that eating meat or animal consumption and having animal products is wrong morally.
Not really. So veganism would be the ethical stance against the needless oppression and exploitation of sentient life as far as is possible and practicable. So yeah, these things are wrong. There could be situations in which they could be justifiable and understandable, but the vast majority of scenarios, most people are consuming these products for a trivial interest of some kind, and that's the thing that we take contention with more than
I think
anything.
when I said it's wrong, that implies it's always wrong.
Sorry, what?
Do you think when I said it was wrong, that implies it's always wrong?
No, but I'm just giving clarity. Again, I'm just giving clarity within the definition.
Wait, but you said my definition was wrong, just to be clear, so I'm not...
Okay, it's whatever. Anyways, so what's the justification to not be vegan?
Justification? For what?
To not be vegan.
Yeah, I don't have a good reason to.
You don't have a good reason to not be vegan?
No? Do you want to give an argument for it?
Yeah, do you think that needlessly causing harm and suffering to sentient beings is a negative thing that we should be avoiding?
No.
Okay, so do you think needlessly oppressing and exploiting humans is a good thing?
When you say good thing, I don't know what you said there. Are you saying independent of my stances, or are you saying according to me as an individual? Hello?
Both. What do you think?
The first one, no. Obviously not. I mean, the first one is, I think it's a gibberish question. The second one, yeah, just I think whatever is in line with my stances is what's true. If it's the case that veganism is not in line with my stances, it's also going to be true.
So could somebody use you?
No, because that's going against my stances.
But it's okay for you to use somebody else?
If, yeah, it's logically possible. That doesn't mean I'm going to actually do it.
Okay, I don't know if that's you're not really the kind of person that I'm trying to talk to. I'm trying to talk to people that are open-minded.
I can talk to the other guy if he's back. Maybe you have some like I don't know, like objective reason for why like life is good or something like that, and why like we should like promote sentient life or some shit.
Well, you said it wouldn't be right for somebody to use and exploit you, right?
Yeah, but there's a reason for that. The reason for that is because that goes against my stances. Now, presumably, maybe you want to say that it's independent of my stances that I should care about flourishing life. But I think that is just gibberish. I think that such thing as a stance-independent reason is just is gibberish. Because what it means for something to be a reason is that which is dependent on your mind. I don't know what it means for a reason to be independent of your mind.
Yeah, that's a really scary position to have, because like that's what a lot of people use to justify doing horrible things to other humans and other animals.
When you say it's horrible, are you saying like it's horrible according to you, or do you think there's some like magical?
It's horrible according to the victim.
I don't know, okay, are you saying it's again? That doesn't answer my question. Are you saying it's horrible according to you? You're saying it's horrible. Are you saying like it's objectively
It's
horrible?
not
There's something real about that sentence.
It's not just me and you. When you're oppressing another individual, it's not about me or about you. It's about the victim.
Okay, well, okay, so like, are you saying that there's something like independent of our stances that makes it like really wrong? Is that what you're saying? Like, are you saying it's wrong even if like I didn't say it's wrong? Is that what you're trying to say?
You're saying that it's not wrong because you feel a certain way.
No, my stances are not feelings. So feelings have to do with like emotions. And
it is based on your feelings alone. Yeah.
No. It's not based off my my emotions alone. It's based off of my beliefs.
Yeah, your beliefs. Your beliefs are your feelings.
Yeah, beliefs aren't emotions though. Like if I'm feeling mad, that's not a belief. If I'm feeling like happy, that's not like a belief, bro.
Yeah, but it's based off your feelings.
What? Oh, if you're saying that my emotions can lead to beliefs, then sure. But beliefs are not emotions. If I'm like ill, that's not a belief.
All right, we have another person that's coming up, so we're gonna move on. You come back another time.
Wait, but this guy's back though. I think I can discuss with him. The guy below me's back.
Yeah, I'm not gonna waste time on this conversation because I don't think it's gonna go anywhere. You're here to like debate.
I can talk to the other guy. You want?
And I'm not.
No,
trying
genuinely,
to.
you're right. He's more likely than not just a disingenuous Phil bro who's not actually here to have a genuine conversation and make changes. He's just here to either be right or wrong. Yeah. And whether he is right or wrong, neither would actually result in him changing his actions, quite honestly. So.
For real, man. What's up, guys?
Joe, what's up?
What's up? So are you saying we hate animals like a anti-eating meat thing?
Well, how do you feel about animals?
I do love animals. Like, let's say, going to the zoos and stuff. You know how the controversy for zoos are mistreated? I like looking at them. I think they're cool. I'm pretty friendly to animals. Like, I see them on the side of the roads. Like, but I feel like I can never own a pet, if that makes sense. But I do eat meat. And as a kid, growing up, I felt like eating meat was bad because that means like, or you're killing other animals, using them for fuel, right? But I tried to go vegetarian, but I just couldn't live without meat. So does that mean I hate animals if I can't change my ways?
What? So yeah, hold on. There was a lot there. What about owning a pet? You said something about you wouldn't be able to own a pet. Can you explain that?
Yeah, I just feel like I would be a bad owner. I don't care about them, or I feel like I'll forget to feed them. Like, it wouldn't interest me to own a pet, like dog, cat,
Yeah.
bird.
That's interesting because you're considering them, right? When you're thinking about that, you're considering those animals. But then when it comes to eating them, you're only considering yourself, right? And your nutrition or whatever you were saying there.
Yeah.
So like, why are you not considering those animals? Do you think that's hateful in a way?
That's a good way to put it. Yes, I do. I'm gonna admit that because, like you said, I'm not considering them because they're not doing anything for me. Like you said, feel I'm eating them. But if I were to take care of them, it's hateful in a way because I'm only thinking about myself, like a chore. You know, like, oh, I gotta feed them. I don't feel like I need one because, like you said, I'm being hateful. I don't want to feed them. That makes sense.
Yeah, like, so if I had a dog and I turned him into a jacket, do you think that would be hateful?
Yes. If you killed a dog yourself and made his skin into a jacket, yes.
Yeah.
What if he paid someone else to do it for him?
That would be equally as bad, I say.
Yeah, it sounds like your values align with veganism. So, like, what's really stopping you?
Yeah, I think it's wrong. Like you said, if I were to have a pet, I wouldn't turn it into a jacket. I wouldn't pay someone else to do it. But I guess, why is it right for me to go buy it from the store? You know, well, I don't think I wear any dog skin. But if it were to be different, like a bear rug, you know, something more common. Maybe what's stopping me is, you think it's because I grew up on meat, like my parents, and my diet is used to it? Or can you guys speak from experience and you grew up eating meat, you change your ways?
Yeah, I mean, I think most vegans grow up eating meat. You know, we were taught to, you know, love some animals and eat other animals and view other animals as objects and things that we can take from. You know, I think it can be different when you're changing your lifestyle, when you're making difficult decisions or different decisions. It can be a little bit uncomfortable, but it's really not that hard. It's not difficult. I try to say that it's not difficult, it's just different. And as soon as you start making these changes and you center the victims, you center these animals, the idea is to stop viewing these other animals as objects and view them as subjects, just like we view cats and dogs. Like, they're their own individuals, they have their own feelings. So I mean, yeah, like, what's really stopping you?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Thank you, but I agree. Maybe just being comfortable and different, like you said, because I tried it when I was younger. I tried it for like about 3 weeks. I guess I was just young and inexperienced because there are proven diets or other things to eat, you know. But I just felt so hungry all the time. I didn't feel full at all, no matter what I ate. I would try to substitute like foods that I did eat for, like, let's say vegetation meat or things like that, and I just couldn't do it. I feel like, I mean, maybe if I were to try again, it'll be different because I'm older now.
Yeah, I mean, you could also, I mean, an example of like a food that you tried to eat to feel, you know, you were desperate to feel full. What would be an example of like a plant-based food you were trying to eat to feel full?
I was trying veggie patties. That'd be one I used to eat a lot when I tried.
I would recommend something more like potatoes. Like, potatoes have like a very, especially just boiled potatoes.
Yeah.
There's something called a satiety index, and that just refers to like how likely the food that you're eating will make you feel satiated and full. And the food that's highest on that board is actually, boiled potatoes. So like, if you were feeling like, oh, I don't feel full, just add like a boiled potato to your food or a sweet potato to your food, or, you know, something like this. But yeah, just taking in enough calories is probably another big metric. Like, a lot of people, unfortunately, they'll go to a plant-based diet and they don't really kind of like rationalize what they're consuming. Like, it might feel volume-wise that they're eating the same amount of food. Like, if someone eats a big salad, for instance, it might feel the same as like eating like a big meal that's inclusive of all these animal products. But those animal products are going to have way more calories than just like, you know, a bunch of like iceberg lettuce.
Yeah.
So
sure.
the idea there is to make sure that if you're, you know, if you're going to have a salad, don't just have it be like a salad of leafy greens, like include some like tofu and seeds and beans and other things that are like filling. So yeah, I would just urge you to look into that. But yeah, there's free resources that will help you with this. The main one would be on the screen behind the host, animaljustice21.org. So they Soy Curls is another great option. They basically help you with all this kind of stuff. Like, you know, if you agree with the moral or ethical principles of veganism, and it's more of like, well, I just don't know how to execute it. I don't feel like I'm equipped to follow a plant-based diet appropriately, or I need some, like, you know, intensive help with how to do that. That's what that kind of thing is for. There's other groups that do the same thing, like Veganuary and, you know, veganeasy.org. You know, you can take your pick, but, you know, I would recommend, the one that he just has in the background there, Animal Justice 21. They'll just kind of help you with understanding how to plan an appropriate plant-based diet, so you don't have to like feel lost about that. Or if you like run into an issue, or like, I'm having this problem and I don't know how to fix it, they'll be there to help guide you when you feel lost for free.
Yeah, thank you. I'll look that up, that website, for real. I had another question. Is it more tied into like vegan, not vegetarian? Like, you can't consume their products at all, like let's say milk, eggs?
Yeah, we would avoid all animal products effectively, you know, whether it's like eggs from a chicken or eggs from a penguin. We would avoid needlessly oppressing and exploiting a sentient being for like what is effectively theirs. Like, it was produced by they and themselves, and we're not gaining consent. Like the difference between, you know, humans are animals, right?
Yeah.
And breast milk produced by, you know, a pregnant person, would it be considered exploitation when that's given to their infant consensually? Like, they're doing that because it's in the infant's best interest, and they're not like the pregnant person isn't being exploited to do that. If someone, however, was to take a bunch of pregnant people and then force them to give them their milk against their will, against their consent, that of course would be problematic, right?
Yeah, that's true. Like you said, I think people think that way just because it's animals and they like probably not as intelligent or feel like we do, but it's the same concept. I agree, because if you take all the chickens in a farm, right, just breed them for eggs, that's the purpose. They have no life no more. But if they're to be normal, live a life in the wild, make their own eggs into babies, that's what's ideal for them, you know. But like you said, I think we're only thinking about us. So thank you guys for, I guess, shining a better perspective into it.
Yeah, I would really urge you to think on this, you know, more. There's some really great documentaries that you can watch too that will expose kind of like even further the wrongdoings that are happening here. I have several of those documentaries linked in the link tree in my bio, as well as a link to Animal Justice 21, and some other resources that you might find helpful. So if you want to just go to that link, it'll have all those links that you need. And I would check out, you know, at the very top are all the documentaries. You know, for you, I'd recommend that you check out 2 documentaries. I really urge you to look at one, Dominion. Like, most vegans would consider that like ethical, moral homework, if you will. And then the other one is called I Could Never Go Vegan, and that does like a bit of like a deep dive into like all these, because like you seem like you have like a relatively inquisitive mind about these things and you want to know more. That's like a very complete vegan/plant-based documentary that discusses anything and everything from like, you know, the actual ethical implications to the environment, to health, to nutrition, to hunting and agriculture. Like it gets very in depth on everything, and, you know, kind of lays it all out for you at the end as to like why all these reasons add up ultimately to why we should, you know, absolutely be vegan.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I'll check those out. One more question. is there like problems for the world to change? Because you know how, let's say, there's more meat consumers for the past years. Is it true like there's like a population thing, like, oh, we're just doing it so if we didn't eat meat, then there'll be an overpopulation? But that's not true, right? Because the world is big enough for all of us.
Yeah, it would be an innate reduction of like animal products over time as more people go vegan. Like there's currently 93 billion land animals that are bred into existence for animal consumption every single year. And then we fish out of the ocean and rivers and lakes about 1 to 3 trillion marine animals every single year. If we were to, yeah, it's a lot. If we were to move away, especially for the one where we're like, actively breeding them into existence, right? That's the core one, the animals on land. If we were to stop doing that action, well, there's a thing called ROI, return on investment. Like, animal farmers aren't, pure idiots or whatever. Like they pay attention to their money. So if they notice that, we could hypothetically say 30% of the world goes vegan. The farmer who's currently raising 100 heads of cattle every single year, and he suddenly feels like a 30% pushback on his pocketbook, his money and his investments, he's going to realize that he can't just keep producing 100 heads of cattle year over year over year. He needs to reduce that from 100 to 70. And then if 50% of the world goes vegan, he needs to reduce that from 70 to 50, and so on and so forth, right? It innately reduces within the market demand that we have. It's just supply and demand.
Yeah, that's true. I'll check those out. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Like you said, it is a business and lifestyle itself for the world, but deep down it shouldn't be, because like you said, it's wrong for the animals. So less selfishness, and maybe more people will see.
Yeah. I mean, I would just say, like, try it out, and if you're feeling like an urge after that, especially to like make the change, then again, the resources right there. Animal Justice 21 will help you with all the side-ended questions that you might have about how to accomplish all this. But it'll be much easier than you might be anticipating in your head right now.
Yeah. How old were you guys when you decided to make the change or educate yourself, or was there any struggles you guys faced particularly?
I was about like 25, 26, like 10 years ago now.
Yeah, I was 32. It was just a couple years ago for me. The hardest thing for me was finding everything in the grocery store. Like I went through, I was like, I don't know what all I should eat. I went in there and I tried to find all the vegan products just so I could like learn what all my options were in this specific grocery store. And literally I went through the whole store, like every aisle. I looked at a bunch, I walked around, I looked at everything. I like read labels on things that I wanted. And then I went back the very next time I went back to the grocery store, they rearranged the whole grocery store. So I had to do it all over again. That was literally like the hardest thing. It wasn't hard, it just took a little bit of time. But like, yeah, it's really, really nothing really hard about it at all. And I wish I did it a lot sooner.
Yeah, I know it's selfish to think, but I'm thinking about my own body and like protein intake. There are substitutes other than meat, right? Where you could still be healthy and be athletic, muscular. So I ate 100 grams of protein while doing this stream. So check out Huel. This is something I just started. I just started drinking these. I drank 2 of these, and that's 80 grams of protein. What? Was it different from naturally protein from meats, or you think it's all the same?
It's all basically the same. There's also on the Animal Justice site, when you go there, there's a resource page, and there's a section there from Vegan Squad Coaching. They're fitness coaches, they're vegan fitness coaches and bodybuilders, and they have a free protein resource on that page, so you could check that out too.
Oh yeah, I did take this plant-based protein powder before, so there's no excuse, I'll let y'all go. Thank you for the talk.
Yeah, thank you. I have one more question for you before you go, actually. If let's say you go vegan, do you think that you should maybe speak up for these animals as well?
I feel like yeah, because I feel like if I do go vegan, my friends and family around me will ask why, and I won't just say, "Oh, it's because I wanted to," or my health. I'll say the real reasons everyone does. Oh, for the animals, for the world, and it's wrong.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do feel like I would.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the animals need us, and you can once you sign up, you can do Animal Justice 21 with your family. Sometimes I'll recommend that people do it with like their parents or their friends or whatever. So, yeah, check it out and share it around, please.
Yeah, appreciate y'all, man. Y'all take care.
Yeah, thanks, you too. Yeah, W's for Joe. That was a good conversation. We need more people like him. I think I only have time for maybe one more conversation. Let's see if any of these requests are still here. There's a couple people requesting up. Let me give them a second. It's a little too quick to move through the requests earlier and had multiple people come up a couple of times. What was this gift over here? I saw this. The goat. What's up, Meebo? Thank you for the goat. That's awesome. And then there was something else, wasn't there? Oh, the 6-7. Thank you, Brett. You guys are awesome. Next. Also not here. Yes, a 6-7. Now this looks like a kid. Is this kid still here? Nope. This guy's got a monkey as his picture. JX, are you here? Loading in.
Are you vegetarian?
Are you over 18? Sorry, I didn't mean to mute you that time. Are you over 18?
Yes, it's because I got a baby voice.
Definitely.
I got dwarf syndrome.
Dwarf syndrome?
It's definitely a child.
Yeah. Come back when you're 18. You can put your questions in the comments.
What?
Bye. Alright, we need one more guest. One more guest. Who's going to be the last guest? Nova just rolled over and she's like laying up against my back. Nova, you want to say hi? She's been sleeping behind me for the past 2 hours. She's had a rough day watching all the puppies. Right, Nova? I got here. She was like, "Get me away from them."
Very stressful.
Want to say hi? You pretty girl. Want to say hi? She's just chilling. Yeah, I really appreciate you being up here, Keith. It's awesome learning a lot from you. So definitely appreciate it.
Always happy to help. Too many conversations in one day is the main problem.
You were over on VSL's stream before here.
Yeah, there was a few rather absurd ones, and someone that just like the number of times I've had conversations with them about veganism, and the number of times I've seen them be on vegan lives in general is like in like the probably close to like 30 or 40 plus times, and it's just like, okay, this guy's just not getting it. This is like a waste of time to keep talking to him.
Yeah.
And once again, I was proved right. But Oh well.
Yeah, that sucks. Some people are never gonna change. Unfortunately, it's just the way it is. But all right, Alexander, you're up. Do you want to talk for a minute? I got 8 more minutes.
Background out in my carport and watching the storm roll in. So if you hear any kind of noises, it's probably just thunder or something in the background. I was curious, what are you defining it as eating animals? Are you anti-farm, anti-hunting, or what's the goal of life?
All right, so I think I understand what you were saying, but your phone's cutting out a little bit. So, yeah, I mean, I feel like if you're paying you're going out into the woods and you're exploiting an animal directly, like hunting them or purchasing animal products. When we have alternatives, I think that you're doing a disservice to these animals. Does that make sense to you?
I see your point. I grew up hunting and fishing primarily for food, and a big thing is to make sure to be respectful, right? But also around farms, right? Farms, for miles all over, right? My thing is, personally, I believe hunting and fishing for your food is a more ethical option opposed to the dairy industry. Dairy farms are a little bit better about it. If you ever go to a beef farm, a lot of the cattle are crammed in there like sardines. They're pumped with antibiotics. A lot of them are sick, especially with the FDA cutbacks. They aren't treating the beef the way it's supposed to be treated.
The cows.
And I believe out in the wild and sourcing your animal properly and using every bit of it is a higher respect to that animal rather than going and, getting some mass-produced food like that.
Okay, so I see your two options there. If you have two options between factory farming an animal and then maybe going out into the woods and hunting, I understand how some people can think that that's not as bad, but those aren't our only two options though, right? Like you have an option to go to a grocery store or order stuff online and choose like plant-based alternatives instead. You can buy other fabrics to wear. You don't have to wear an animal's skin. So don't you think that maybe choosing that other option is the most ethical?
Yeah, there's definitely other options, but at the same time, most of the options are mass-produced. Negative impact on the environment and animals.
It doesn't.
Is a form of conservation. Where I'm at.
It doesn't matter about the.
I'm at.
Sorry, your phone was cutting in and out a little bit. I thought you were done.
It's really hard to understand you in this conversation. I won't lie.
Yeah, your service isn't the best. I don't think.
Here, I can hop off. Here, I'll hop off the live and text instead. There's a storm rolling through, and the connection's gonna be a little cruddy.
Okay, yeah. Give me a follow. Come back up another time because I'd like to talk to you more. So yeah, I grew up in the country and hunting area, and I used to go fishing when I was younger. I wouldn't kill the animals, but I would like catch and release, do it for fun, and I always thought it was weird. Didn't do it that much, but yeah, eventually stopped. Way before I was vegan, I was just like, this is weird. I'm not gonna do this anymore. It's like I'd rather just go sit on a rock and watch the fish, whatever, be in nature, but like not pull them out of the water. Like it was just, it was kind of weird to me. I always thought hunting was weird. Like, why would you kill an animal when like we don't need to? You could just go to the store and buy animals that are already chopped up into little pieces. it sucks that I never put those pieces together. Like that's totally unnecessary and also like really weird. But yeah, I think there's some people that I've seen on social media that were hunters that are vegan now, and there was a guy that was at war. He was like, I think he was a sniper, if I remember correctly, and he was literally at war thinking about how like he's like hunting other humans, and how, you know, he was like worried about being hunted himself basically, and he was able to think about the perspective of these animals. Something just clicked in his head, and he was like, he became vegan after that, and was like, I'm never gonna, you know, hunt an animal or kill an animal again. So yeah, sometimes it takes people being in like an extreme situation like that to really make those things click. But I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah. The conservation statements are always a bit silly to me too, because like even if we were to run with that as like if the argument is that this is for conservation, like the heart of conservation would never be consumption, because your very argument is like, you know, because so many of these hunters will like predicate on this idea of like, oh, I have to manage, you know, this particular species of animal because they're either overpopulated or they're invasive, and through the action of being overpopulated or invasive, they're making life more difficult for these other animals. They're taking nutrients away from the, you know, available nutrients away from these other animals, so they can not survive as easily, et cetera, et cetera. And their argument is to now take the nutrients that were acquired by that animal by, you know, foraging or unaliving other animals to consume them, and then to take that animal that they've unalived, that they're claiming to do for conservation reasons, drag that animal's body back to a random suburb in the cities, and then shit their body down the toilet. In no way, shape, or form is that conservation, because none of those nutrients are getting back to the ecosystem. Like, if you wanted to do like a conservation-based hunting, if you will, then the absolute minimum that would be demanded of you in that scenario would be to allow the natural decomposers and scavengers of that land to return the nutrients from that animal back into that land, not for you to go have some taste pleasure in downtown. Like that's the last thing that ecosystem would need or benefit from. So it makes no sense to center consumption within the heart of conservation. Like, that would only make sense if it was like the case that this hunter had no other choice for food. Like, that would, you know, meaningfully be understandable, I suppose. But like outside of that, like, they're just now doing it for, like, you know, for the sport of it, and then the enjoyment that they get afterwards, not seemingly for conservation. At least not in my opinion.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And yeah, what just conservation is like trying to mask the horrible things that they're doing and make it sound like it's a good thing. It's like a lot of what zoos do. You know, they have one little part where, like, maybe they rescued some animal and, you know, they found an injured bird or something, and they took care of them and they healed them, and then they release them back in the wild, and they're like, oh, look, we're doing great things to help animals. Meanwhile, they're like breeding animals and keeping them in little cages just to sell tickets and make money.
Well, and that's the thing, is like, they're literally using the action of other institutes to justify the horrible actions of these other things. Like, they're trying to justify the commodification of their, you know, bodies for entertainment by citing a rehabilitation center. It's like, vegans aren't against rehabilitation centers. We're not against wildlife rescue centers. Those things are fine. Those things are great.
We should probably have more of them. Like,
they're rescuing and making lives better for animals, and that's a positive thing. That's like, it's not built like on the predication of exploiting and using an animal for your trivial interest. You know, in fact, most of them are built on like non-profit, like NGOs and whatnot. They're just, you know, getting some kind of assistance from either government bodies or non-government bodies or donations or whatever to just simply help them in rescuing and aiding animals. Like, that's fine. The problem is when you now are, you know, breeding them in captivity for the sake of especially just breeding them in captivity to make more entertainment, because most of these animals that they're breeding in captivity can never be released back into the wild and could never really be used in any meaningful way to release other animals into the wild. Like, if you were trying to conserve, I don't know, silverback gorillas, you wouldn't want to breed them in captivity in, you know, some random zoo in California. You would want to go to where silverback gorillas are from and conserve the land that they live on. Like, good lord.
Yeah. Yeah, seriously. Alright, I don't know if we're going to bring up any more people. I might read through some of these comments because they're funny. This one says, I love juicy body steaks. I think you, it's just funny. Animals are killed to produce vegetables. I can't even be fine with vegans, having been one myself. They are crazy. He also thinks me eating animals means I think it's okay to beat and abuse them. I think a couple people said that today. What? Kitty wants to come say hi.
Very upset.
Vegans are hypocrites. It's funny when people say that vegans are hypocrites, but they don't want to admit that they're themselves are hypocrites. Either you're basically a hypocrite or you're probably a psychopath. Vegans are the ones that are admitting that they're hypocrites and they're doing the best that they can. Non-vegans are ones that just are afraid to say that they're a hypocrite and do better. Sport dogs. Play with your dog, but you don't have to treat your dog like a object that needs to be like shown around. Meebo got 500 subs. Nice. Congrats, Meebo. Now you have to do the tofu challenge. That's funny. Invasive species. Alexander's in here talking about hunting. It's for the environment. Hunters think that they're doing a service to the environment by taking out certain animals. But if we have other alternatives, don't you think that we should be using other alternatives? You should be advocating for those alternatives. If you're in the hunting scene, like, you should be advocating for, like, and if you care about animals, you should be advocating for more of those other alternatives. They need more funding. They need to be tested in larger areas. So you should be advocating for that if you really care about animals. We got a Rose. We'll bring up one more person here. Gino. Gino, you skipped everybody on the list.
Nice.
What's going on?
Just heading home.
Yeah, so how do you feel about animals?
I think it's okay to hate. I think morality is subjective, therefore, I think to me it's okay to hate.
Okay, so I don't really disagree. Some people say that morality is subjective, but do you think that we can see similarities in our subjective experiences and create morals that are more objective?
No, not really, because I think we're all going to disagree. That will take a lot of effort for humanity as a whole to get together and try to agree upon some morals.
So, do you think it's wrong to unalive another human?
No, I'm cool with unalivement.
You're cool
Wait,
with
I think it's hold on, holy shit.
Yeah.
Do you think it's okay to like rape little children?
I'm cool with everything. You could do whatever you want.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Damn, Gino, I'm sorry that I brought you up.
You guys don't have an objection, though. You guys are just
All right.
You don't have an actual moral opinion. You're not a
Damn.
subjectivist. You're not a subjectivist at all. You're a moral nihilist, dude. You're confusing and conflating two very different things. Subjectivism doesn't just lead to, well, everything's based on everyone's experience. That means that we can just do whatever. No, you have intersubjective communication. I just tried to have intersubjective communication with you there, and it resulted in you just saying, yeah, it's okay to grape little children. Get a fucking life, dude.
Yikes. I can't believe that. That guy requested to join and then spent 1 coin to jump ahead of everybody to come up and say that was probably the most absurd thing that I've heard anybody say on any of my streams in the past week. So
Yeah, I mean, these like everything's subjective, you can do whatever people are the quickest people to reductio in the world. Like they literally give permissibility to their own exploitation. Like he doesn't realize it, but that very comment says to the world and himself that if he were to be raped as a small child, it would be okay because you can quote unquote do whatever you want. Like it's just full blown reductio ad absurdum.
Want to assist the environment? Go hunt PDFs.
I mean,
all right, yeah, I think after that we're gonna wrap up. I was gonna end at 6, so I'm a little bit over. I got some other stuff I gotta do. I gotta go take care of the dogs and the cat. I gotta go see what the cat's crying about. I think he's hungry. So,
yeah, Sushi's also very upset.
Thanks a lot, Keith. I appreciate you being here. Thanks to Sarah and Remy and other people that came up. If y'all are still here, thanks to 40. I've seen you in the chat. Oh no, Romel's here. Romel, you made it just in time for the end of the stream. Don't even comment one thing. See you, Ted. Thank you for being here as well. And Ted, definitely let me know if you're here. I know you like to lurk in the back. If you want to come back up on the panel again, like next time, I'll probably be live again tomorrow. Definitely want to have you come back up again. Spooky, VSL, I see you guys. And I see Meebo over here, Vegan Anthem, you've been here. Brett, I appreciate all you guys being here too. Yeah, go follow the Real Meebo on YouTube. He just got 500 subs. Now you can do memberships and emojis and stuff like that, so that's cool. Alright guys, I'll see you later. Peace. 7 new followers. I got a restriction halfway through that, saying that I wasn't in the camera's view, which was weird because I was only, like, there was a moment when I was behind the camera for like 2 minutes, but I came right back. I appealed the restriction and then it was approved, so they took it off. But it was kind of weird that that came up because I was here that, like, I was here most of that time. Like, it was way after I was even over there getting my food. But yeah, we did 2 streams today. We got like 12 new followers, maybe. Not a lot between both streams. A little over 1,000 views. 10 gifts that totals like 15 cents. Made 15 cents in 2 hours. Nice. We had 16 conversations. 2 people said that they would go to Animal Justice 21 and learn and are open to learning more. So I like to see that. Hopefully those people come back. I think we had 3 conversations earlier. I wasn't taking any notes on them, but 3 conversations earlier, and I think 2 out of the 3 were good conversations. I think Remy basically did both of them because my phone was cutting in and out. I got rid of some stuff on my phone. I think it helped. Hey, thanks for the super chat. Sebby Coops. Yeah, so there was a lady this morning on TikTok that has some like disability, and it's literally like the same thing that Remy has, so she was able to talk to her and help her out. So that was cool. I like seeing people like that think they can't be vegan, and then they meet Remy and they're like, oh wait, she's got the same thing and she's vegan. Like, it's possible. Like, it's just going to be a little bit more difficult. Like, those people have it hard, right? People that, like, they can't just go and eat whatever off of a shelf. Like, they could, like, in a severe case, they could go eat something random and die. Like, that's hard. But even in that case, like, those people can still be vegan. It just might take a little bit of time. Like, those people, yeah, might not be able to go vegan overnight. Like, I kind of understand that. And it really sucks that there's people are just taught when they're young that, hey, you need to eat animal products. Like, no, they probably could have been taught to be vegan. They probably could have grown up vegan, but it would have been just different. But yeah, then once you, like, those people have it hard. So, and then even when you compare those people that have, like, some type of disability or something that's really stopping them from just going vegan overnight, even if you compare that to the animals still have it harder. Like, it's like you can't have it harder than these animals that are being forced into these slaughterhouses. It's, even if they have a good life, it's like literally the worst thing you can imagine. Let's see if we can get Nova. Nova! Nova! Oh, I should lick my nose. Sorry, I just headbutted you. Yeah, and vegan travel, and I appreciate Zara coming up too. She's explained things really well. I don't know if we don't have the best matching personalities, I don't think, maybe, but and she talks a lot. She's not the best for quick conversations. She kind of drags some things out a little bit, but she does get the point across, which I really appreciate. But I don't think she liked, I like kind of cut her off and was like, we gotta go faster. I don't think she liked that, because then she left. But hopefully she comes back, because I definitely do appreciate her. But yeah, I want to get through a lot of conversations really quick. I think that's the best way. Nova! Ow! Ow, that hurt. She thinks this is a toy. Nova. She's like, I'm gonna try this side. Alright, yeah, I'll be using the timer on my lives. Yeah, I forget to do it sometimes. But yeah, you just hit the box. They hit the box, and then there's a timer. And you can set different times. So, yeah, I mean, it wasn't the best. Whoa, Novo, back up. I'm just gonna knock this over. It's a toy if I think it's a toy. Yeah, today wasn't the best. Only two, or this stream, 2 people out of 16. That's low. Normally it's a little higher than that. But it is what it is. Maybe it's because I'm on at a different time. Maybe it's better in the morning. I don't know. Maybe it was the prompt. I don't know. What do you guys think about this prompt? Yeah, somebody would be down to farm humans. Yeah. That guy at the end was like, Nova, I got a bunch of these in my room. She just went and grabbed another one. Nova, you're not. You have toys up here too. Why do you choose these instead of your toys? Nova. Do you want me to take the cap off? No, I will bite you. Ah. Thank you. She took it off and gave it to me. I need the other little plastic piece. Give me that. Just give me the piece. Just give me that piece. No, give me that. Thank you. You got it. Alright, now you can chew on it. As long as I get these, I don't want her to choke on them. Yeah, the last guy was like, you can do whatever you want, I don't care. He thought it was okay to abuse children and kill humans, and like, that's wild. We didn't really have any guests. We didn't really have any more guests that were requesting up. Like, now she doesn't want it anymore. And then I started reading through the comments, and then I got like 6 guest requests at once. And I was thinking about bringing somebody up, and then Gino was that guy's name. He sent a rose and jumped the list of everybody, jumped in front of like 6 people, just to come on and say that you could do whatever you want to a human or an animal. Like, that's just so crazy. Yeah, but we talked to. There was a couple of kids, but then there was a couple of people that were like kind of scary. Like, if you see Gino in real life, and he's walking down the street, and you're walking down the street, You should probably cross the street and walk over there. Like, it's so crazy. Or like turn around and run the other way. Green hearts. Love all the green hearts. Ow, you just hit me in the face. You're crazy. Crazy Nova. Whoa. Oh, you can't see her. She's like shaking her head. Nova, you're so funny. Yeah, why do you exploit animals? Yeah, a lot of people came up and they're like, I don't hate animals, but I eat them. It's like, kind of like the respect thing, you know, when you're like, do you respect animals? So like, yeah, I respect animals, but I eat them. People probably... Oh, got another one. People will probably do the same thing, though. They'll come up and they'll be like, yeah, I think it's okay to exploit animals as long as you do it ethically. Jesus Christ, Nova, what are you doing? That one has some water in it. Hey, don't... Let's trade. Trade, hey. Here, take this one. Nova. Take this one. Now she thinks it's a game just to pull the lids off. Stop. I'm gonna dump this out on my bed. Nova, are you being abused? Let me turn the screen off so you can see her. She leaves. Nova! No, this one has even more water in it. Come back, Nova. Somebody thinks you're being abused. You have anything to say about that? See if I can get her to talk. Nova. Please. Speak. It doesn't go down anymore. Nova, I want to be able to speak. Speak. She's like, what? Whisper. She's trying to touch me. Whisper. Louder than that. That's like silent. She like does these silent barks. Whisper. Shh. I'm gonna let the cat get you, Nova. He's coming. Shh, whisper. She just lays down on my leg. Yeah. Go get it. Love you. Speak. Don't punch me. Speak. Good girl. That was quiet. She knows to use her indoor voice. Except when she wants to go outside, she barks at me like crazy. It's funny. Speak. No, speak. Good girl. Speak. Good girl. Yeah, I got more food to make for the puppies in the morning. When I get up, I'm gonna start their giant pot of food. I was gonna make it the other day, and the puppies got into the rice and the lentils. They took the bag off the counter, ripped the bag open, and ate it raw. And now they're pooping out rice and lentils. It wasn't cooked, so they're just passing it all through. She just got a free treat. She knocked it right out of my hand. Did you get it? Oh. Lulu, I think it was Lulu that pulled it off the counter. Lulu's pooping out rice and lentils too. Speak. What was that? Speak. Close enough. Speak. I'm moving too fast. Speak. Speak. Yep. I'll give you that one. Let's probably remove this. Remove, was that right? Remove, unpin. Unpin. That's what I meant. Elbow drop Nova. Pa, 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 pa. Pa, 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 pa. She's like, what the hell? What the hell? Where are your ears, Nova? Nova, you look so funny without your ears. You could harvest dog ears without killing the dog. She's like, what? My ears? Mmm, delicious. I'm just kidding, no. Nobody's gonna take your ears. Yeah, the other day we had, what was his name? La Fermi. I don't know if I put his whole name in there. I just put the beginning of people's names sometimes. He was from Elwood's Dog Meat. So that was cool. Talked about why he's vegan and stuff. Nova ears. Nova, you're so cute. She loves to like boop you with her nose. I taught her that a long time ago, and she like does it all the time. Oh, my hand tastes like treats. Yeah. No, but my hand's all wet. I'm gonna wipe it on you. Vegan Anthem, I'm surprised you didn't catch it on the resource page. Apparently there's a link to the ASPCA. I don't know, that was just put on there like as a default, and I feel like I saw that. I just think maybe I didn't go back and change it. Wrong side, Nova. Nope. Good girl. You're so smart. You're so funny, Noah. Look at your cute little face. Look at your cute little face. She's not happy about it. Can we paint your nails, Nova? Can we paint your nails? Look how big your nails are. They hide under your hair. Look at this paw. Look at your nails. They're long. They're long. We don't go on our walks anymore. You need your nails trimmed? I used to walk her so much, she never really needed her nails trimmed. I mean, she doesn't need them. They're not sharp. But they're at the limit. They can't be any longer. I need to go trim Rosie's nails. Rosie's nails are long. Maybe we'll do that. I think I have a little bit of time. You're not helping, though. Rosie doesn't like you. I was gonna get her. I'm in your light, aren't I, Nova? Look, oh, you're so cute. You were in my shadow. You kiss me on my forehead? Oh, you're so cute. Some anthem therapy. Oh no. Boop. What are we supposed to work on next, Nova? I totally messed up. We were supposed to do, oh shit, we were supposed, what time is it? We were supposed to do a meeting tonight, Nova, and we are not ready for it. I guess that's not happened. Plus, I probably should have scheduled it this morning. We need to work on leave it. I think I'm going to use trade. I think that's what I was talking about before. So when a dog, I'll just do it with Nova. But I'm using a different word anyway, so maybe I'll just switch it to another word. So when Nova sees something and really, really wants it, I need a cue to tell her to leave it, and then so we can start with food. This is a good way to teach leave it to a dog. So you take a couple treats in your hand, let him smell it, let him try to get it, but you don't give it to him. It's like negative reinforcement. And at some point, she'll stop or bite my finger. I don't like her claw on me, though. That's my finger. That's also my finger. Yep. And then she gets a treat, but not the treat in my hand. Let me do it again. Yep. See, she did it way quicker that time. She just like looked down for a different treat. Yep. I don't know what cue I'm going to use, but I don't have to use a cue right now. Look, now she's not even trying. Look. Yep. This is how fast dogs can learn. Yep. She already knows. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I don't know how many you got. Yep. Yep. I want her to not even touch it. Yep. Wow, look, she literally did it that quickly. That was crazy. Right when I said it, she did it. I want her to look and then choose to leave it. Yep. Good girl, Nova. You're so smart. Let's give her a couple over there so she... And we're going to switch them out because she licked them a bunch. Yep. Yep. Now I wonder if I can put them in my hand. Yep. See, they're open in my hand. I want her to look at me, though. Yep. There you go. Okay, and I say it, and then she does it. Like she's reading my mind. Nova, the mind reader. Yep. Oh. I also don't want to throw it on the ground, really. No. Yep. She lays down. All right, Nova. I need the cue. I need the cue because I think I can add the cue in now. She'll pick it up. Nova, you're such a quick learner. And then we're gonna change it from a treat to a toy. Can you train cats though? That's the next episode. I want to train Cheddar to jump through a hoop. Not really a hoop though, my arms. I'm gonna go like this and have him jump through. I think you would like it. Nova! Nova, you psycho. How many of these, she keeps grabbing them and putting them in the bed. Taking the top off. There's 2 of them over there already. So this is the 4th one she was trying to grab. No, that one has water in it. Here, take one of these. Come on. Don't jump through that little hole. Go over here. Come on. Come on. And I want to teach Lulu to drop kick people. She already kind of knows it, but she does it when she's not supposed to. So we need to make sure that she only does it when she's told to do it. Because sometimes older people come here, and if Lulu gets out and there's like older people here, Lulu like tries to drop kick old ladies, and it's not good. Nova, do not. Nova! No! Go away. Go, please. Nova zoomies. Yeah, Nova really loves learning new things. That's like one of her favorite things to do. Between meeting new dogs and learning new things, she's not like super toy motivated. She gets tired of playing with toys. Like we'll play for a few minutes and then she just like walks away. But like training, learning new things, like she'll do that longer than any other dog that I know. Like she'll literally train for like an hour straight, which like a lot of other dogs can't even last like 5 minutes. Don't show everybody your butt. Don't show everybody your butt. Are you biting me? Is your hair standing up? Oh, did I get you excited? Ow! Nova, you're so bad. Oh no, that's the one you can have. I didn't think it had one of the blue things on it though. I'm confused. Oh no, this is a new one. Where'd the cap go? Here. Nova. She's the toilet. Aw. That's cute. Hold it together, Nova. Nova, stop it. She's like, there's so many water bottles over here. There's like 10 of them. She's like, she wants to go through all of them. Cats do as they please. Yeah, they do. I don't know if it's best to let you out here with Nova being so crazy. There's nothing in there for you, Nova. Here's Cheddar. Here's the kitty. He doesn't even let me he doesn't like me to hold him too long. Oh. You can whack Nova. He didn't like me to hold him, but then I put him down and then he runs away and comes right back up to me. He's like, pet me some more. Alright, buddy. Back up. But yeah, cats like to learn things too, some of them. Meow. Meow. I want to teach him to jump up on my back. My last cat would do that. Pickles, he would jump right up. He would jump up on my shoulder and stand on my shoulder. And he only had 3 legs. A little tripod parrot cat. Hey, don't. Nova, no, don't go in there. Nova, he's gonna fuck you up. He's hungry. I gotta go feed him. Alright, well, thanks for being here, everybody. Got a little bonus stream. Extra half hour. Nova, the cat doesn't want to play with that. Nova likes to boop him with her nose. He's like, fuck off. Oh. Nova, don't do that. You have to be gentle with the cat. Nova tried to pet him. He does not like that. You have to pet the cat slowly, Nova. She like booped his butt with her paw. Oh. He did it. Nova. She did it again. You're gonna go outside, Nova. You're too excited to play with the kitty. No, no. I will separate you two. Alright, enough. You're being bad. Stop working the cat up. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.